Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're finally going to get a look at the balance changes. Normally we do this literally upon update day, but this time around on update day there's been 2 new brawlers, so a lot of new content to cover before the balance changes. But now I had a little bit of a chance to try them out, give you guys my biggest thoughts and also my predictions on all of the top brawlers and worst brawlers within the meta. So before we jump into the video, then make sure you're using the correct code. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, jumping into probably the most influential balance change to begin with, I think it has to be the GROM one. So I kind of called this within the balance change video I did for the sneak peeks, but I think after trying it out as well, GROM just feels absolutely disgusting. It feels so incredibly strong, and even on maps and modes where normally he does get countered a little bit, you know, for example, like Brawl is probably his worst game mode on ladder, in particular because you'll literally face off against, you know, multiple aggro brawlers every single time. But right now, it feels incredibly strong. And one thing that's pretty underrated as well now is his gadget. So the gadget that you throw 3 attacks with pretty much instantly. Before, it used to be pretty bad because it was really predictable, the GROM shot, really easy to dodge a lot of the times, but now you can actually like just kill people instantly with this gadget. It's pretty insane. Also faced off against it a bunch of times on knockout, which was already one of his better game modes, but yeah, it was just incredibly toxic to face off against him. But still, brawlers like Mortis will still have a decent matchup against GROM, but now he'll probably hit a few more shots before those aggro brawlers start to get close to him. So hopefully our teammates can score here. I think they're trolling a bit too much right here, but we've got our super in a second. We should be able to just use this on the BB and take her down. Also, yeah, we should be able to get close to this Cole as well, take him down. So yeah, I think GROM, I don't know about like a top 10 brawler right now, but I think he's definitely improved the most in the meta. So that is a bit of a bad example to show because BB of course is incredibly fast, so it's pretty hard to hear. Anyways, should be able to pretty much get her down. I mean, I'm doing a terrible job of showing like how good GROM can be. These aggro brawlers are definitely having my number, but as I mentioned, on probably even more so the passive maps, when the update dropped, I think it was center stage, I had a terrible time against GROM. A couple of people used GROM with the other gadget and it was just pretty toxic. It's just really hard to dodge a good GROM player on a map which he's really hidden on in terms of walls, and just his teammates being able to get him. Hopefully the BB can get the ball right there. Okay, I was hoping my BB walked forward and got that one. I didn't want to feed Mortis anymore of our super. Now 20 seconds left to see if we can delete any of these brawlers with the gadget. We do get a lot of our super charged though with that gadget. Now we can start to push forward. I think a tip probably that I do a lot of times on ladder, if I face off against a Mortis as like a Dynamite or a GROM, I just ignore the Mortis and go for the other brawlers I know that I can kill. So that's going to be the first game right there. I think GROM is an insane brawler in this meta. Let's jump into the next one. Alright guys, jumping into the next brawler which I want to talk about the most and which was anticipated probably the most out of the community, except for people of course that love to double jump. So rip a double jump within this meta, but still it's a nice change. Dynamite hasn't been anywhere near the meta for a long time. I don't think this change is going to catapult him to like one of the best brawlers, but definitely a lot more usable. I'll push him a little bit again in Brawl, and it just feels a lot nicer, specifically against those aggro brawlers, you know, that just like to close the gap really fast. It feels like I'm just connecting my shots a lot easier, and I'm not the best Dynamite player, and I was making it work a lot easier. Again, I don't think it's going to be like anywhere near the like top of the meta just because he doesn't really have too many defensive capabilities. Like, yeah, he has DYNA jump which he can use to get away from like Mortises for a little bit, but still that's not going to allow him to take down those tanks that quickly. So again, you are relying on your teammates, or if for example you're in Power League, you're relying on the draft to have like a tank counter. But still, I think on some maps, I haven't tested it out yet, you know, like some heist maps for example, I can see him being incredibly toxic. Like a good Dynamite player who knows how to conserve ammo, it can just be incredibly toxic to face off against. So we should be able to get the double super right here, and again might be able to get the kill onto one of them. Somehow I missed that one. That could have been a really nice clip right there. Instead, again, I'm not the best Dynamite player, so we don't really make that work. So yeah, it's pretty nice for a brawler like Dynamite to get a bit of love. He's always been like the worst thrower in the game by quite a mile, so at least he's getting a little bit of viability. I don't know if that's Tom on Tara. That is absolutely hilarious. How can you miss a super that badly? Hopefully Chester, I've got to say, doesn't get his super and uses a Dynamite attack of its own. But yeah, let me know what you think of the GROM and Dynamite change. Let me know whether you like it. Of course, a lot of people in the community are a little bit upset about the double jump being removed, but I think they will eventually change it. I don't think they'll change this buff back, but I think what they'll do is decrease the amount of time airborne with a dynamite, which will be a nice change, because then you've still got, okay, I just completely missed that one, but you've still got, of course, the ability to hit your shots a lot faster, but then you've got the ability to double jump as well. I think that'll be a win-win for all dynamite mains, so should be able to land that on top of the Sprout, and that's going to be the win right there. So dynamite looking pretty nice in this meta as well. Let's jump into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the next brawler, which is on everyone's mouth right now, it has to be Buster. So Buster, you know, of course, he's still an incredibly strong brawler right now. I thought with the nerfs he might be a little bit weaker, but still he's proven to be one of the best brawlers inside of the game. His gadget is a big reason for this. Time and time again, I've been playing ladder a lot of the past 2-3 days, and Busters have just been carrying me so badly. This gadget is just way too strong, offers so much value, and of course it's a bit ridiculous. I could just pull someone from such a large range, and then of course with the mechanics of Buster, it's going to deal even more damage up close. So of course it just leads to even more broken gameplay. So the gadget, of course, 100% needs a nerf. I'm not too sure how they can actually nerf this, because I think the big problem with the gadget is just actually his main attack radius. Like, it's so big to begin with that his gadget's just going to get infinite value no matter what. So not too sure how to go about this, but the gadget needs to be addressed 100%. And then there's a few other ways which I think that Buster can definitely be nerfed in to make him a lot weaker. So another one has to be the fact that when he has his super actually just out, he's able to cancel it. So that's another thing. Like, what you can do, you can put out your shield, of course, you can heal, you can gain back your ammo as well, and then once an opponent gets close to you, you know, that's supposed to be the way you counter a Buster shield, right? Once they get close to you, you can just unshield up and just go and attack them. So I'm not really showing the best examples of it, but you get what I mean. Like, kind of the way you think of countering Buster is by getting close and personal with him when he's got his shield active, right? Because of course you kind of feel like he should be stuck in it, but no, he's just gonna absolutely delete you when you get up close. It just feels like there's just no true way to counter his shield. So I'm getting pretty close to my shield right here. Should, except for this dynamite, be able to block a lot of projectiles. Should be able to warp this one in. I mean, it's just a Sam left. I don't know what that Buzz is doing there. That should have 100% been a goal, so that is pretty damn bad. I don't know how he hasn't scored that one. I could have just walked that one in pretty easily, but again, like, I feel like you should be able to well, once you use a super, not like cancel it out. So, you know, brawlers like Carl, for example, you can't cancel out his super. So I don't get why they do this with Buster. It's just way too strong, and yeah, I'm hoping for quite a few nerfs for Buster in the future. He's just so broken right now, but that's going to be another brawler. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, jumping into the final game then. So I don't think any of the other brawlers have had too much of a notable difference, so I don't really want to cover them right now. You know, Otis still feels pretty strong. Griff as well, nothing's really changed in terms of buffs as well. All the other brawlers have had like a nice change, but I don't think it's like catapulted them to like one of the best brawlers inside of the game. But Colt, let me know what you feel about Colt. Do you notice a difference? I definitely notice a bit of a difference in terms of just connecting my shots a lot easier, but it just feels like just because of Colt's just, I don't know, simplicity, right? It's pretty hard for him to be anywhere near the meta unless he gets like a broken gadget again or something like that. I feel like Colt will always be that type of niche kind of heist brawler, or, you know, back in the old days in competitive, he used to be a really good brawler in terms of opening up the map. So maybe they can make it so with Colt's gadget he could break open more of the map. I don't know, but it's definitely a nice change. Any Colt buff is definitely welcome because he has been suffering in the meta for a long time. Like, even in heist, he wasn't being really used too much. You know, a lot of times people would pick a Colt in safe zone, for example, and just still would feel pretty weak. So I'm gonna miss that Chester right there. I don't know how I didn't get the kill on him. But yeah, definitely the update feels really fresh. I like all of these small changes. You know, one thing I like about balance changes is when there's no like big overwhelming changes. Like in the past, for like over a year ago, before, if you guys know Adrian, he's the new guy. Well, it's not really new anymore. I think he's been in Brawl Stars for like a year now. But before Adrian, I think the balance changes wasn't really like the best. You know, it was quite up and down, but now it's quite stable. You know, brawlers are definitely getting some nice buffs, some nice nerfs overall, and no one really feels too overwhelming just yet. So kind of like that about the game, but I am scared for the eventual rework of Edgar. Like, I feel like they really have to be careful with that one, because of course if they do change him and he's broken, hopefully they're quick on the nerf, because Edgar metas are like extremely toxic, and of course everyone knows how easy to play Edgar can be when he's one of the best brawlers in the game. So that was a nice takedown from the Surge. But yeah, overall in terms of Colt, then I don't think it's helped him out a ton, but definitely on the lanes, safe zone, I think he's going to be even better. But I don't see him really being used anymore so outside of Heist. Unfortunately, Chester has that stun super. That's just so unfortunate. I mean, I couldn't do anything about it. I don't know why the Surge shot me then. Like, how can you have an answer to that one? So now going into overtime, I feel like I'm going to really struggle right here, considering our lack of, I don't know, just lack of easiness to hit a shot, and there's just no way we can really do anything there. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. A couple of L's on this one, but hope you guys enjoyed this one and all of my insight. But overall, I think GROM definitely has had the biggest impact on the meta. Make sure you're trying him out, because I think he's really underrated. It could possibly be one of the top 10 brawlers inside of a game right now. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.